Women's Triple Crown of Surfing. We're here at Hali'Wali'i Beach Park, Kaipagoro, along with Peter Mel for the call. We're in heat number 5, round number 1, featuring 2 surfers out of Hawaii, 1 Tahitian and 1 Australian in the way of Dion Atkinson. He's joined out there with Dusty Payne and Barron Mamiya, representing Hawaii, as well as Taumata Puhetini from French Polynesia, the Tahitian Islands. He's got the full package, Barron Mamiya. I expect big things out of this young man.
Well, and then he finished runner-up. So I mean, I think they take 4 results out of the, or 4 or 5, depending on how many events they have.
Just talking about the Australian South Coaster, Dion Atkinson. This is his opening ride. Dion knows how to put a score together. He knows how to surf to criteria. He knows how to finish a wave, and he just did that.
Well, you look at Dion Atkinson. He's been in this situation before. Experience that. You'd have to say Dion, if he can make a few heats here, could be a surfer that can move up quickly up that new era rankings.
Yeah, as we look at the replay, Peter, and you can see, how Dion has to adjust to surfing some of the small conditions, but does a good job.
Yeah, I mean, again, he's, he's not a small guy.
He'd rather it be 10-foot Haleiwa. Well, I guarantee you, Dion. Well, and also talking about the region, this event, we start with 128 spots. 33 of those spots are going to surfers from Hawaii. 26%, the highest of any QS 10,000 so far this year, as we look at the local contingent being included in the event.
And here's Taumata right here.
Puhetini trying to put it together, and it's always that closing maneuver, and that's tricky. You can see the backwash. You know that the waves, the winds come up, our trades have come up.
Well, now you're surfing into the wind off the lefts, and that can make it a little bit tougher. You know how wind conditions, you actually get the little ripples on the face. You also see it on the rights, though, too, being in the direction we've seen. Here's Dusty Payne. Rights are a little steeper, so you say that if you can find yourself on a couple rights, even though you may not ride it as long, the quality of the maneuvers are going to be a little bit better because those sections are a little steeper on the face. You see how this is a stark contrast. No steep lip until this final section here, and it's not even as steep as the rights would be. So talk about critical sections. That is a key element in high scores. You've got to have those critical sections. And so if you have 2 critical sections and then maybe compared to like 4 softer sections like you see on the lefts, you would have to say that those rights are going to score higher.
I agree with you. Let's see what Barron can do. Getting a little fin free, little ditch on that closing maneuver. So one nice backhand snap following by just a fin ditch on the backhand for Barron Mamiya.
Again, so the left's going to have a little flatter face, so you got to get a little more extended on your maneuvers, and that's what Barron does here. So again, gets that tail free, whips it around. That's that final section. That's where it actually gets a little bit steeper. The snap here, transition move.
As we switch over to live action, Dion Atkinson, just a turn and the kick out there. You can see the ripple, the bump on the water, Peter, and that's due to our trade winds, which are normally, my personal trade winds is east-northeast. This is more of a northeast direction, so more north, you're a little bit more side on right now.
Yeah, so you're going to see those ribs affect the wave face a lot. The more east it gets, the cleaner the faces are going to be.
Dusty Payne on his second wave. We're still waiting for the first wave score for Payne. This time going left and caught behind the section, so that's not going to be a consequential wave for Dusty Payne. But his first wave, that right-hander that we saw in that replay, Pete.
Well, I've never heard that before.
Yeah, that's where you drop in on people coming from the main.
Okay.
Here we go. No, but some go wide. As we look at Dusty Payne, he's going to back up that 7.23 that he opened up with. So some of those waves go wide when it's proper Haleiwa, and then you actually have grabber's hole right there. And then finally, the end section. Hopefully we'll see some of that action in competition.
Toilet bowl?
The toilet bowl.
I've heard that one before. I've actually got some scars from that place. Jeez.
They're Hawaiian medals. Here we go, Dusty Payne on the replay.
So again, Dusty trying to back up his best score there of the 7.23. Smart move. 3 quick turns on the left. He was sitting outside with, third priority, so good move there just to back up the 7, make sure that he's good in the last back half of this heat.
Dion Atkinson on the left. And I like that finishing maneuver, just getting the board just up and vertical. Actually, that's not his finishing maneuver. He's got more and does it again. So a repeat of that backhand vert, stood up and kicked out. Priority error on Puhetini, but we're taking a look at Dion Atkinson.
In contrast, right? Whereas utilization of priority here by Dion Atkinson, he did the job. Whereas unfortunately for Taumata, pulled the trigger too early on a wave that didn't have that high quality. So again, nice finish too, because you love when all of a sudden you get a little rebate.
Lightning bolt in the Brazilian storm. Victor Bernardo is going to be coming up in the next heat. Here's Taumata Puhetini forcing his way through that closing maneuver, little grab rail to make sure that he was able to ride out of it. Barron Mamiya, I'm looking for something exciting from this young man. He may have to tone it down.
Oops.
Oops.
Well, they mentioned it. You know, I think that, you know, look at this battle here. See, why are they paddling fast? Because they're going for the end of the heat. Who's going to gain priority? Whoever gets out to the takeoff zone first will get that third priority, and it could be important at the end of the heat. AKA
paddle battle, and it looks like Barron Mamiya just walking away from Taumata right there, and he's going to gain priority above him.
A little bit of youth there, huh?
Right. Dusty Payne looking sharp. Looking just composed, sharp, doing what he needs to do. He opened up with a big score of a 7.23 and just staying composed there.
Done it all. So he can draw off of all of those things. One of the things that I think that you would say that Dusty needs is drive. He needs to be excited and want it. And that's when you can start to see him really, his surfing elevate. And when he has that kind of demeanor to himself, watch out. Work for him.
Puhetini. Nice wrap. Throws the air. A little bit of progression there. Wants to juice a little bit more out of the wave. It's not going to allow it. A nice combination of a wrap to air. What's he need? He needs a big score. He needs an 8.8, but he can chip away at that right now.
He's got a score coming in, which I don't think is actually, it's the wave previous to that, and then he's going to add that one. So he's getting himself into it.
Dion Atkinson just drifting the fins with each of those turns. Atkinson really showing composure and his veteran ability right now. I think he's just surfing to criteria. He's picking good waves.
Well, he utilized the priority to a T. I mean, I think that that's what he did. Is you see that he sacrificed early in the heat. Priority, got himself a 6.83, and then got priority again here at the back half of the heat, and he's going to better once again. So, I mean, that's a dominating performance. That's exactly how you use time management for a clock, especially in a short heat like 25 minutes.
That's playing the game right here. And, you know, come on, we have to admit it. Surfing competition, it is a game. It's different than free surfing. It's different than a pure pole. Little slow motion action here.
Yeah, and see, he got, you know, this wave delivered because he was able to do those combination of major maneuvers with speed, power, and flow. Those are two parts of the criteria that he ticks perfectly because he's top to bottom. He's going into each maneuver without chasing it down, without trying to put speed under his board. So he's missing sections. No, he utilized every section to a T. And he rode it from the very beginning all the way to the end. So a nice, really well-packaged wave. This can be a good score. It is in position in the lineup. There's so many factors that go into picking the best wave selection in a heat.
Taumata selected a wave that allowed him a ramp for an air, but so it was incomplete.
I was actually wrong about that score. I thought he had two scores coming in, but he only had the one, the 4.5. So yeah, he sits in a position now. He was able to lower that allocation to a 7.73. So that's why he's going so big here in the last 2 minutes.
No, actually, Pete, you were wrong.
Oh, okay.
You were right. You were right.
Because
the score, the
I don't feel so bad now.
No, the 25 minutes just fly by in a four-man heat.
I love that he's not giving up, though.
Nah, part of a line. Just might as well go for it. What's he got? Well, that's not going to be the 6.74. I mean, I'm sorry, the 6.3 that Taumata needed. Again, surprising to me, Barron Mamiya. I expected a lot, but again, this is a learning opportunity for Barron Mamiya. He's got a long road in front of him in professional surfing. He's going to take away some lessons from here. But right now, it's Dion Atkinson and Dusty Payne advancing on to the next round. We'll be back with more from Haleiwa at the Hawaiian Pro.